Yo, yo, yo. Let's get it, man. Hold on. Hold on. Hmm. Yo, 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 yo. We here. Let's get it, man. Yeah, it's a hot topic. Should we involve ourselves in illegal activity? Y'all already know where I'm gonna come from. Hold your own nuts. You dig? Straight up. Hold your own nuts. All right? Hold your own nuts. That's where I'm coming from. Y'all do what y'all want to do. There's 43 million of us. There's no leader. You do what you want to. You do what you want to do. But I ain't caping for nobody non-FBA, and definitely not an FBA supporter. Nigga, hold your own nuts. Man, I'm good. Fuck out of here. Nothing you say is gonna. You're not gonna appeal to my emotions. I guarantee that. I guarantee that. Get the fuck out of the country. I don't give a damn what happens to you. I'm pro ice all day long. I love ice in my water. I love ice in my wine. I love ice in my slurpees. You dig? For big gulps. Hey, peace. Tamaka, peace, peace, peace. Yeah. I'm not caping for nobody that's not FBA. Yeah, you hold your own nuts. And I really mean that. You dig? Hold your own nuts. I stand by that 100%. Right? No. Hold your own nuts. You did. I mean, and none of y'all motherfuckers was around when we had our protests. And none of y'all niggas around. You dig? It's every man for themselves. We're good with that. You dig? FBAs are good. Adolf's FBAs are good with everybody hold their own nuts. We don't need y'all niggas to support us. You dig? Y'all do what y'all do. Okay, but we definitely, I ain't caping for nobody not FBA unless they got a track record of supporting us first. You dig? So that's where I'm with it. I'm saying right now. So I'm gonna let the spoiler alert. I ain't rocking with nobody non-FBA unless that group got a reputation or a track record of supporting us. Nigga, I'm good. Nigga, Latinos out there in California, y'all deserve exactly what you get. I'm supporting ICE 100%. Get your ass up out of here. You get no sympathy, you get no support from me at all. Zero. You dig? I'm with ICE. So don't even come crying over here, nigga. I'm with ICE 100%. And look, y'all want the link, y'all want the phone number, y'all want to debate me on that, call in. I'm 100% for ICE. I do believe illegals are stealing not just Black American jobs, but American jobs completely. All right, so not just Black jobs. I believe illegals are stealing American jobs, and then of course, Black Americans are Americans, so we're stealing our jobs. So that's my angle. Yes, you guys are stealing American jobs. You are stealing Black American jobs. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You might want to debate me. Click the link. Or ask the link, ask the phone number. You can hop in and let's have this conversation. Please, Donnie, I'm 100% for ICE. 100%. Now, I'm standing on my square, and I'm willing to make myself vulnerable to anybody who the link or the phone number. Holla at your boy. Let's get it. I'm 100% standing with ICE in this thing. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. You dig? Get them niggas up out of here. Period. I'm 100% for ICE. I'm 100% for ICE. You dig? So y'all want the link? Y'all want the phone number? If you are against ICE, I don't give a damn what nationality you come from, ethnic group. Ask for the link, ask for the phone number, call in. Let's get it in. Okay, but I am 100% for ICE. You could change my mind. You could change my mind. Just call in or ask for the link. It ain't that difficult. It ain't that, you know what I mean? I'm making myself vulnerable to get to y'all. You dig? So people comment on my videos. They talk. Matter of fact, let me turn my camera on so y'all know I'm serious. You dig? Where's my camera at? My camera. I'm out here hot as hell with the tank top. Let me cut my camera. You know I'm serious. Hey, yo, listen, man. If you guys are against ICE and against Trump administration, as far as what he got going on with the illegals in this country, ask for the phone number. Ask for the link. Let's have a conversation. What's wrong with the conversation? Yeah, I ain't afraid of y'all. I ain't afraid of y'all opinions. I ain't afraid of y'all adversity, y'all pushback, y'all ambush questions, you dig? Look, what's up? But y'all afraid of me though. Y'all afraid of my wittiness. Y'all afraid of my rebuttals. Y'all, call in. Yeah, and look, listen, I watch y'all YouTube channel. I see y'all against FBA. Y'all against Yvette Carnell, Tone Toss. Y'all against Dr. Claw. Y'all against urban politics. Y'all against freaking shit. I see that. But the one thing y'all not gonna do, y'all fear me. You don't fear Tariq. You don't fear urban politics. You don't fear Yvette. But you fear me though. Cause y'all know I'm the real deal. I really do this. I really research. I'm literally him. And y'all know. Y'all don't have to call in. Y'all know about me. I know about you. Okay, now the chat don't know, but chat. A lot of the critics of FBA, ADOL, they know who I am. I spoke to you guys. They've been on my panel. I've been on their panel. You don't know that. I know that. Okay, but they know better not to call in my shit. You dig? It's barbecue session over here. They know not to call in on my shit. All right, we know who we know who we are. Okay, and they watch my shit because they steal my shit. Okay, so I was the first person on YouTube to say that that Lord Jamore is a tether. He's not FBA. I'm the first person to ever say that. I'm the first person to ever produce the evidence. So when you see other channels saying that after me, They took my shit. They took my information and they ran with it. Okay, so they know who I am. They know, but guess what? They'll never call in because they know that they're not more educated than me on these topics in American history. They know they're not more educated than me on all this shit. Like they know on some Gigi shit. They know. And that's why I'm not gonna call them out, and no need to, because these I got a cordial relationship with, so I ain't gotta call them out. But they know what it is. They know. You don't know. They know. Okay. They know how to find me. They know everything about me. You guys don't know this shit because you guys are new. Just go look at my old videos. You dig? They already been on here. Everybody, you have Pan-Nigerians say, hey, why don't you debate Rob Bourne? Why don't you debate Sean, Massey Warrior Clan? This dumb nigga didn't know that I'm very much well connected with Rob Bourne and Massey Warrior Clan. Like, those are Sean, that's my dude. You dig? Me and Sean ain't got to do a show for the public. Me and Rob Bourne ain't got to do a show for the public. Me and Sean, me and Rob Bourne, we can speak in private. And if we disagree in private, then yes, okay, fine, let's go live. But Sean, Massey Warrior Clan, Rob Bourne, those are my guys. You dig? You know, I mean, those last I checked, those are my guys. So you guys don't know that, but those are my guys. And I respect them. You dig? I respect Sean. I respect Rob Bourne. I respect True Storian. You dig? But those are my guys. And guess what? They're not on my list. My list is Candace Owens. My list is Larry Elder. My list is Thomas Sowell and Kirk, Charlie Kirk. You dig? Those folks on my list. You dig? Not my brothers Sean and Rob Bourne. So nah, we ain't gonna do that. Nah, we ain't gonna do that. Like, we agree more than we disagree. So I'm not gonna challenge folks who I agree with more than I disagree with. I disagree more with Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, Larry Ellis, Thomas Sowell. Those are the folks I want. You dig? And that black conservative, he's pulling back up Saturday. So you dig? R.I.P. him. Because I'm trying to tell you, what you never do is debate me twice. Because the first time you might say some shit that I wasn't prepared for, I didn't have a rebuttal for, okay, whatever. But you don't come back to my shit and debate me again. It's RIP. Nobody ever won the second time coming talking to me. Nobody. You dig? So RIP to that black conservative Saturday in the evening. All right? And none of y'all can fuck him. Nobody can fuck him. If you can, ask for the link, ask for the phone number. I already cooked the other tethers, the American tethers, the Kwame tethers. I cooked those KBs and J's. I cooked them. You dig? They don't count. I need some, Brother Reggie, already done. Okay? I need somebody that's more well-versed in Black history and the talking points of FBAs and ADOS. You dig? That's the bottom line. Ain't none of y'all fuck them. None of y'all fuck them. Okay? I come a little harder than Tariq. Professor Truth, I like him. I like Black Authority. Okay? They come dumb hard. Tariq is busy with other shit, so he can't really give his 100% towards coons and tethers. But Black Authority and Professor Truth, they are the ones. I seen them fillet tethers and white supremacists. All right? So y'all focus on Tariq, and y'all don't know that Black Authority and Professor Truth, those are the real ones. And then coming in third place, I like to say myself, I'm behind them two. You did, because I watched Black Authority fillet people better than I ever could. I seen Professor Truth rip people apart better than I ever could. Okay, but I'm third, Tariq fourth. All right, so they know not to come over here. And that's why they don't. They know I am. Y'all don't know that. They know that. They've been on this channel years ago. They know who I am, man. All the folks you mentioned I should debate, they know who I am. You just too goofy to know that. Okay, you just too goofy and green to know that. But they know I am. And I could show videos of myself talking to them. You dig? Talking to them on different topics. So it's a mutual respect between me and them. All right. So again, like they're not in my peripheral. I look at them as our allies. I just disagree with. Just because I disagree don't mean you're a bad guy. Doesn't mean you're a op. We just disagree. No problem. We can have a conversation one day. But right now, I got bigger fish to fry. Because those guys, they love black people. Rob Bourne, he loved black people. Sean, they love black people. You dig? But the Thomas Sowell, the Candace Owens, the Larry Ellis, they don't love black folks. Charlie Kirk, they don't love black folks. And that's what I want. I want the folks that don't love black folks. I want them. Tethers don't love black folks. Coons don't love black folks. I want them. You dig? I'm trying to tell you, man. So, phone number, link available. I don't want the American Tethers. I don't want the Kwame's. I got somebody to talk to them on the weekend. And I appreciate them. They definitely are valuable in another way, okay? But I want new folks. I want new faces. I want new Tethers. I want new trolls to call in and get spanked. You dig? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm feeling it. I got this trap music behind me. You know what I mean? It's up. So, like, what's really Peace, Pinky, Chad Smith, D, Hash. Yeah, listen, Donnie, I'm here. I've been sipping a little bit, so I'm all in. You dig? All chips are in. Let's get it. But they ain't gonna call in. They will not call in. They won't ask for the link. They know. Where I'm at right now is Cook City. I ain't trying to be nobody's friend. I'm not trying to build alliances. Nah. Right now, I'm live. It's RIP. Whoever calls in. You dig? No friendship. None of that bullshit. I'm good. I pass. We good. So if you after that number, that call-in number, that link, nigga, it's up. I ain't trying to build no alliance with none of y'all niggas. It's death y'all niggas. I'm on my Tupac shit. I'm trying to ride on my enemies. I ain't trying to be friends with my enemies. I'm trying to ride with my enemies right now. You dig? And I'm going to get started in a second. Let me throw some more trap music while I talk my shit for a second. You dig? Just pardon me for a second. Just let me talk some more shit, and I'm going to get to what I want to get to, which is information. You dig? But yeah. But I'm telling you, where I'm at with my research, I watch Professor Truth, I watch Tariq, I watch Black Authority, I see the debates they had with trolls and white supremacists and coons and conservatives and liberals. I see that. And I'm saying, what would I say if I was in that position? And I feel like my argument will probably be more superior. Okay. Because I believe I just believe in me. I believe in me. I trust me. And guess what? When I call in a Tariq Twitter to cook a white supremacist or tether or coon, you're going to see Tariq going to value me immediately. Like he value other folks. You're going to see Tariq's going to put me number one. I guarantee you. I'm just, when he's live, I'm in bed. That's the only problem. But I guarantee you, when I finally get a chance to call in Tariq shit, you're going to see he's going to elevate me above everybody he brings in to entertain white supremacists, coons, and tethers. You're going to see. Because I'm telling you, my research is different. I'm different. I come with some shit different. And when I cook Myron Gaines, I already cooked Chaotic the Truth. Chaotic Truth been a tether called on Tariq for the longest. Okay, I demolished Chaotic Truth. But when I cook Myron Gaines, because Tariq said to debate Myron Gaines, it's going to cost him $10,000. But what I'm saying is I'm gonna do Myron Gaines for free. And when I cook Myron Gaines, I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna be a little different. You know, yesterday's price ain't gonna be today's price after I cook Myron Gaines. All right. Dig. So all these damn flies around, these flies are fucking killing me. Got my fly swatter. Yeah, but like I'm in my own lane. Hey, yo, peace to black gold. I'm in my own lane, you dig? And that's why what I do, what I'm doing, nobody's doing. I'm defeating Candace Owens' toughest arguments, toughest points. I'm defeating Larry Elder's toughest points, toughest arguments. I'm defeating Thomas Sowell, toughest arguments, toughest points. I'm doing that. Nobody's doing that but me. That's my lane. That's my lane. I'm watching Tariq and Jared Taylor, and I'm coming behind saying, nah, this is a better argument. This is more beneficial. I'm coming behind Andrew Tariq. I'm doing that. You dig? Because that's all I do. That's why I get upset with the lack of support from FBA. It's like, dude, Adolf. It's like, dude, I'm out here for free. Put my money into ChatGPT. I got a monthly subscription. I got a monthly subscription in Adobe Photo to get the fancy, thumbnails. You dig? I pay for Zoom. Whatever else out there, I'm invested in. And I feel like I'm not getting the competition back. It kind of like discouraged me to go further. But here's the problem, and it's not on you guys. You guys love me. I'm saying 43 million, not you guys, 43 million. But they will go ahead and send money for attention or views to Glad, Adam 22, Trap Lil Raw, Aiden Raw. You dig? All these whites and tethers. We have Kai Sinat, DJ Academics. Like, we would send money and views toward those guys who disrespects us on a regular basis. But FBAs like myself who fight for our right, you dig, the party, you dig, that financial compensation is missing. And that's my issue. That's my issue. I'm telling you, we can be doing something different and make some immediate money and be like, man, screw it. So, because time is money. I invest all my time in this. That's why I'm so well versed. I can debate niggas on the fly, you know what I mean, and cook and win. So that black conservative, and that's what we're talking about today. I'm gonna talk about black conservative talking points today. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go over black conservative talking points and let me pause it real fast. Okay, so you got two different types of black conservatives. You got black conservative coons who hate black people. I'm talking about, you got FBAs who are black conservatives and they legitimately hate FBAs, ADOS. And then you got black conservatives who are Afrocentric based on religious ties with the dominant society. Okay, that cause a conflict in what we stand on. God damn, this man fly escape. But you got two different types of black conservatives. You got those who hate black people, right? Like Thomas Sowell, the guy debated, and the Larry Elders and Candace Owens. And then you got the Afrocentric black conservatives like Professor James Smalls and who else out there? You know, Elijah Muhammad and everybody from that sheepfold, the average religious black person. That's like, Afrocentric. They are they are a problem. They're equally a problem. So I want them to call in. I got time for this. And like the video, you did, because the likes are free. The likes, it doesn't cost much to like a video. And my thing is, if you don't like a video, then shit, financially support them. I don't ask for, financial support like that. I have folks who want to support financially. I'm like, nah, don't support financially because it shouldn't be on you solely. It should be everybody. Like I said, a lot of money goes towards Trap Lil Ross and Aiden Ross and academic tethers and folks who got it in for us, who make us look bad, shit, and World Star Hip Hop, Q, those folks, like we gotta support them. FBAs like myself, there's other FBAs out there, not just me. There's other FBAs out there that we don't support. I just fucking fly, man. That we don't support financially. And that shit's annoying. Like, look, they don't gotta come to me. But even Tariq should be at 1 million subscribers. You dig? Why he at 250K? That shit's annoying, man. But we will support tethers like Lord Jamore, Godfrey. Godfrey got like some ridiculous amount of support. And that shit is just annoying, man. Like, yo, why we just can't subscribe? But I don't need your money. First off, if you just like the video, subscribe. YouTube is going to send me advertisements, and they're going to pay me. You think so? Y'all can keep that money in your wallet. But because you're not liking the video, subscribing, yeah, you gotta send a cash app now. The motherfucker put a lot of time in this shit. You dig? That's just what it is. Hella flies, man. Hella flies. I hate flies. I hate flies. Okay. So anyway, let's get into it. So FBA TI, man, peace, my bro. Guys like you is why I don't stop. People like FBI TI, the lineage is why I don't stop, because that's genuine love. My boy Donnie, you know what I mean? Street, been real since day one. Donnie is like #1 supporter, like hands down. But all you guys are supporters as well. So Chad Smith says B1 everyone. Pinky, I see you out there. Chad Smith says it's FBA Fondinamics. You funny. Chad Smith says, oh, FBA. I see FBA in the house. He says salute, and he don't have a wrench. All FBAs and ADOS, they have to have a wrench. So if you're FBA ADOS, you gotta say that in the chat, and you have to have a wrench. Okay, period. This channel is FBA and ADOS sensitive. You guys gotta have a wrench. Period. This channel's for you guys. Deep in One says, if you donate consciously, you definitely be on Tariq radar. This dude is reckless. Pinky Wells says, our people like you are not getting the support. I subscribe 3 channels that definitely have more watching. Yeah. So it's not about, again, it's not about financial support. It's not about money. It's about just liking the video. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the damn umbrella. Yeah. So liking the video is like the best support, because liking the videos will put me in the YouTube feeds, and that's what get people without wrenches. So when you see a person comment in the comment section and they don't have a wrench, you're not familiar with that name, most likely they come from the live feed. Like it's been successful. Like my channel starting to be in other people who watch similar videos feeds. That's what we want. That's what we want. Like, you dig? Like, we should be at 80 live viewers. Like, I got 600, I got almost 700 subscribers, and all of them are FBA supporters, ADOS supporters. So I should have 700 live viewers. You dig? Or at least, I'm sure you guys work, you got a life, you know what I mean, life as well. I get that. But I'm saying that all y'all should support the video, like it, whatever. And I should have like 10,000 views to every fucking video, because I make it my business to read shit and commit it to memory where I know it on a fly. So when a tether, a troll, or white supremacist call in, y'all see me. I'm ready. I'm doing my part. Y'all gotta do y'all part. Pinky. Okay, so Donnie says peace to all FBA DOS. Facts. Pinky says I consider myself conservative, and neither of those describe me. I agree. Okay, so I'm gonna get where's my cue card, Pinky? Where's my cue card to that? Okay, so let me break down the 2 different type of conservatives. So Pinky, I'm gonna help you out, because there's some confusion with conservatism. Right? Let me get that. I got the wind blowing. I got shit flying around. Hold on 1 second. Be back. But hey Pinky, let me help you explain what you're trying to say. Okay, so this goes in, Pinky. What you just said goes into the live stream today. All right. So listen to me. Okay, we got to be careful. So the average conservative is religious, and they based everything they believe on from a religious perspective. So from a religious perspective, of course, they're going to be against divorce. Okay. And by the way, that conservative position stems from Catholicism. You guys don't know that. But if you call in, I will cook you and I will show you that the first conservatives were Catholic in this country. So a lot of the conservatism comes from a Catholic perspective. Now, first of all, let me help you out. Catholics are against all type of contraceptives. They don't believe in any condom, abortion, any pill. They don't believe in. They believe sex needs to be natural. That means this goes into this without any help. Nothing should deter this going into that. Nothing should deter a potential pregnancy. That's the Catholic conservative position. You guys don't know that, but if you call in or hit the link, I'll cook you. Okay, this is the foundation of America, Catholicism. They don't believe in no type. They don't care about the mom about to die. They don't care all the nuances you guys gonna bring up. Catholicism don't give a fuck about none of that. Catholicism says the mom should die, the kid should live. You did. Catholicism says natural sex only and no divorce. Married, death, do you part. Catholicism believe that shit 100%. All right, so that's why I said like you guys don't know enough about America and America politics and religion to even like fuck with me. And nobody does, to be honest, because everybody have their agenda. I don't have an agenda. My name is Unbiased Ron. I'm unbiased. I don't have an agenda. It's just pure truth. I'm pure objective. You dig? I can't be bought, sold, none of that shit. Influence, none of that. It is what it is. But okay, so that's the Catholic viewpoint on that. Okay, they believe because they're religious. They believe once you are pregnant, it take 2-3 weeks. They believe life begins at that point. Catholics don't give a fuck about science. They go on straight religious beliefs only. So I need to know that. Okay. But again, you don't know that, and you're gonna come over here on this live and get cooked. I don't spare nobody. I will because my name is Unbiased Sports, and I'm the can man. Anybody can get it. I don't spare nobody. Everybody can get it equally. White supremacist, Tether, Coon, or a black person unaware, FBA who's unaware, ADOS who's unaware of what's going on. I'm gonna cook you the same. I'm not gonna spare you. You call in, I'm not gonna spare you because you should be listening and not thinking you're on my level and this shit. Okay. So black conservatives. So let me say this. Now, what I did not do, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do it right now live. What I did not do is find out exactly why. I can give you an opinion, but I never found out exactly why conservatives, Republicans, and Democrats switch. Okay, I'm gonna find out right now on the fly. Now, I can't tell you that. I'm gonna be real. I can't tell you that. Can't tell you that. I'm gonna find out right now though. Hold on. Find out right now though. Okay, so before 19, so here it is. Here it is. Let me share my screen with you guys. I'm transparent. Got nothing to hide. Shit. Okay. So you see, it says TLDR summary. It says before the 19th, damn flag. I gotta get him. I got his dumbass. Okay. There's another fly around here. Okay, but anyway, it says before the 1960s, so you guys can read along with me, you did, because I'm him. It says before the 1960s, It says the GOP, the Party of Abolition, Lincoln, and Reconstruction. It says Democrats, the Party of Confederacy, Jim Crow, and segregationists in the South. Okay, now it says after the 1960s, Republicans embraced a Southern strategy to win over white Southern races. So the party that's responsible for us being emancipated and gaining freedom and gaining rights in America, you dig? They embraced a Southern strategy to win over white Southern races. Democrats, the people who were against them, who were against freedom and liberty and civil rights for Black men in America, you dig? FBAs, ADOS. They became the party of civil rights, Black voters, and racial equality. Watch this. Okay, key stages of the switch. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, I'm still good. So it says 1860s, 1870s, the birth of the GOP and Reconstruction. Because I'm not a politician, I'm not that well versed in politics. I'm more of a historian. I'm more of a religious debater and shit like that. I'm not a politician at all. I'm not like well versed in politics at all. I'm learning on the fly. So Republicans, Lincoln's party were anti-slavery and passed they passed the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendments ending slavery, guaranteeing citizenship, voting rights. Okay, Democrats were the party of the Southern white planter class responsible for black codes, the Ku Klux Klan, and Jim Crow laws. Okay, at this point, the GOP equals progress, Dems equals white supremacy. So at that point, the Democrats were white supremacy. Early 1900s, so we're reading it together. Early 1900s, progressive shifts begin. In the North, some Democrats start becoming more progressive, e.g. labor, immigration, anti-monopoly. You could thank A. Philip Randolph. You dig, if you know any better. We got Republicans begin aligning with big business, industrialists, and laissez-faire capitalism. So still, Southern Democrats, Dixiecrats held on to racist policies. You dig? So 1930s, 1940s, the New Deal and Black voter shift begins. Here we go. So Frederick Douglass Roosevelt, I believe that's the acronym. Don't kill me. New Deal 1930s helps many poor Americans, Black and white, through public jobs and housing supplies, white. Black voters started shifting to the Democratic Party, not because it ended racism, but because it offered economic relief. Southern Democrats reluctantly accept this shift, while continuing to enforce segregation at home, you see? So by 1948, cracks appear. Let's talk about it, you dig? I'm being very transparent with the research. Democratic President Harry Truman integrates the military. Strom Thurmond leads racist Southern Democrats to form the Dixiecrat Party in protest. That's what Malcolm X talk about a lot. So in the 1960s civil rights era, the true party flipped. This is where the major switch happens. Democratic presidents JFK and LBJ, Lyndon B. Johnson, begin aggressively supporting civil rights legislation. Civil Rights Act of 1964, Voting Rights Act of 1965. In response, white Southern Democrats revolt. Okay, so we're getting it together. The GOP seizes the moment. Richard Nixon, that devil, Southern strategy, a deliberate effort to attract white Southern voters angry about civil rights by appealing to states' rights, law and order, and anti-Black sentiment without saying it out loud. So I want y'all to focus on this. You dig? Focus on this. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I got my own lane. I know y'all rock with Tariq. I know y'all rock with Black Authority. I know y'all rock with Professor Truth and Dr. Claude and Yvette. But I got my lane. The shit I highlight. Okay. So what I highlight is civil rights. Okay. Your constitutional rights. So the South. So screw Republican, Democrat. The South and the North. The North was against slavery. The South was for slavery. So forget about what party they align themselves with. The South always believed in state rights. They never liked a regulating body like the government. It was always anti somebody regulating their state affairs. You dig? So pay attention. So that's why it says that Richard Nixon was appealing to states' rights. They said screw national rights. They were appealing to state rights. Okay. So Barry Goldwater, whoever that devil is, Republican 1964, voted against civil rights, won 5 deep South states. Okay. Over the next decades, Southern racists switched parties and the Republican Party shifted toward anti-affirmative action. Smaller government, which is a code for less welfare spending in Black communities, law and order policing. Okay, so let's just be clear here. Okay, so the final outcome by 1980s to the present, where we at today. Democrats, segregationists, Southern racists before 1960s, right? Post 1960s, the Democrats became aligning themselves up with civil rights, Black voters, and progressives. Republicans, who were originally abolitionists, Lincoln, pro-civil rights, they became Southern whites, law and order, anti-civil rights backlash. You dig? Okay, so by the 1980s, Ronald Reagan opened his 1980 campaign in Philadelphia. What that say? Mississippi. You dig? What else it say? Where civil rights workers were murdered. He used the terms. Okay, this is the Republican Party. Reagan. He used the term like welfare queen and states' rights, which were dog whistles to racist voters. The South flipped red and has stayed that way since. So we're all learning together. Important clarification. No official name swap occurred. Many politicians switched parties, e.g. Strom Thurmond left the Democrats for the GOP in 1964. The parties evolved based on their coalition. All right. So yes, Democrats were once the party of Jim Crow, but after the Civil Rights Act, those races left the Democrats and became Republicans. Nixon welcomed them in with the Southern strategy. So no, the parties didn't just magically switch; they were re-engineered by race, power, and fear. Okay, so there you go. There you go. Because you'll hear people like Candace Owens just say, "Well, the KKK, they were Democrats." They did, and that's some of her major talking points. All right. So where we at with the questions? You did. You look at you and fly. You disgusting fly. I'm gonna get your ass. So Pan Nigerian, hey, peace, man. Indigenous black man in this in the house. So is Satch, Ohio. I talk okay, indigenous. He keeps saying he talk. Whatever. So indigenous says he talked about the Southern strategy years ago. Oh boy, here we go. So okay, let me put the phone number for this guy because he's a teacher, right? Let me get that damn fly. Bitch. Okay, so let's get teacher indigenous black man on the line to pump up to beat his chest. The shit he teaches. All these teachers, but yo, call in when that yo, hey indigenous, call in when that damn Republican call in, that conservative, black conservative. Matter of fact, I'll tell you when she call in. Let me put the phone number in. Niggas be having imaginary shit. Here you go, indigenous. We got a black conservative. He wants all the smoke. Everybody teach him shit until it's time to call in and debate. Got his dumb ass. Okay, everybody a teacher till it's time to call in and debate their op. There you go. Call a number and IBM, Indigenous Black Man. All right. So let me cook for a little bit. Matter of fact, let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Fair use, whatever that shit means, fair use.
Anyone. Solidarity is not a transaction. It's not, I did this, so now you owe me. It's about mutual recognition of pain and shared investment in justice. And that's what's missing here. Some of us are choosing to stay home, and not out of spite, but out of clarity, because we've been used before, called on for labor, for culture, for numbers, but rarely protected when it's us in the line of fire. So when a black person says, I'm not showing up for this one, instead of attacking them, maybe we ask, what made them feel unsupported in the first place? What trauma are they carrying that makes this protest feel unsafe? And why is the loudest backlash coming from people who should understand that pain best? It's easy to demand solidarity when you've never had to carry the cost of it. But for us, the cost has been blood, time, and generations of silence. Maybe this time, choosing rest is the most radical protest some of us can make.
Black people, listen to me. Do not get out there. Do not protest. This is
So they're talking about the LA riot.
Not our fight, and in fact, our ancestors would never have done this. Our ancestors were never in solidarity and fighting for the rights of other groups. They would not appreciate us standing up for justice and liberation for all marginalized people. They would never create coalitions with people they didn't like. So stay home, because we all know that you are safe at home, and that state-sanctioned violence will not meet you as long as you're not out in the street. We can count on our safety as long as we're in the house, because we are sitting this one out and keeping ourselves safe. And even though most of us aren't just walking around the streets with our birth certificates and passport, and because ICE is unlawfully detaining and kidnapping people, I'm sure they'll be able to differentiate between us Black American citizens and Black folks who immigrated there, whether they identify as Black or not. Because state-sanctioned violence doesn't see color, because they go based on the law, who's illegal and who's not.
Let's go even deeper. When we talk about why some Black folks are refusing to protest for Latinos, it's not just exhaustion, it's memory. We remember being told to go back to Africa by people who now want our voices. We remember anti-Blackness in school hallways, on job sites, in grocery stores, and we weren't imagining it. We remember Afro-Latinos being called every slur in the book in their own homes. We rise of jail to understand the ones not using your fire for you in the light. Black people are not a utility.
Yeah, after the number, my boy. Call in and tell us about what you teach. Like niggas be teachers overnight. Like, no, you know, why everybody want to be a teacher? It's like, no, you don't teach, man. You just say shit. Because you say something on an online video, you dig, or stream, doesn't mean you're a teacher. It just mean you just say shit. You're not a teacher, you just say shit. Niggas want to what they teach, man. teach to who? Teach to who is the question. Who you teaching this shit to? A bunch of retards? Shit don't count. A bunch of gangbangers, nigga. Like, who you teach this shit to? No. That's the right meeting ID. Now, hey, James Watts is 100% correct. We don't have, let me get James Watts a wrench. We don't have no friends, man. We all we got. It's big. And we should rely on. Jaquan, man, peace. IBM, ain't no damn nigga. IBM, your phone is some janky shit, dude. When I post a phone number and meeting number, I literally copy and paste. Okay, so it cannot be wrong. It's a copy. I don't type that shit in manually, my boy. I copy and paste. Okay, and I'm looking at it. It's 84. Shit, well, you might be right. Hold on. Now, you might be right. My fault. I did some retarded shit. Here you go, IBM. Here you go. Boom. Here it is right there. So yeah, so I paste the phone number in twice. Duh. Just say, hey man, ain't the meeting number. You paste the phone number. Okay, there's the meeting number. So call in and let's hear some bullshit you teach. You dig? Nah, again, if you guys are coming in, I'm for ICE, I'm pro ICE. Listen. Oh no, the illegals, they're due process. No, they're not. Same energy. If you come in illegally, then you need to be disposed of illegally. You dig? That's my shit. If you come in illegally, you need to be disposed of illegally. So no due process. Screw y'all. Get the fuck out. All right. Let me change the number real fast. With this bullshit you're gonna be talking. All right, go ahead, Ben. What you got, bro? Go ahead, man. Fuck you, guys.
Well, I ain't got a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the end-all, be-all in the
Well, you claim to
situation.
be, but go ahead, though.
No, I have spoke on this Southern strategy topic from Lincoln all the way to Ronald Reagan.
Okay, so can I ask you questions on that?
Well, can I say what I had to say first?
Of course, but I'm asking when you're done, can I ask you questions on this since you're a teacher?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Well, peace and love to the chat, you know what I'm saying? And
Nah,
peace,
ain't no
unbiased.
love right now. They want to hear what you got to say first, and then it might be love. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Anyway, you know, the Southern strategy, we have Lee Atwater, and he's Reagan's campaign manager. And he's telling us, you know, about the Southern strategy in a video. It's a racist video where he says you start off saying the N-word. You can't say that no more. So by that's in 1958. So in 1963, you say states' rights, force busting, and things of that nature. And then, you know, after a while, it gets so abstract that you're using anything to say that, you know, and the outcome of it is that the blacks get hurt worse than the whites. Now, that's Lee Atwater, Reagan's campaign manager. And then Richard Nixon with the Democrats, see, what it was that Richard Nixon put that you know, war on crime into words like Darwin, you know, putting evolution, and then like Galton coming in and putting it into action. So that's what the Democrats did to keep up with the Republicans, because that war on crime was a Republican thing with Nixon to Reagan, but then once Bill Clinton got in, he had to take it up too.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I disagree. Oh, okay. So what you just said was history, but it's not historically true. Okay. So when Bill Clinton came in office, he actually minimized what Reagan did, not take it up a notch. Okay. So brother, liberals, let me just tell you, liberals, even though they do some bullshit, liberals are going to be more lenient on Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, ADOS. Liberals are going to be more lenient on us than Republicans or than conservatives. That's 100% correct. Liberals are the ones who offer assistance to us. The conservatives say no assistance, pull up your bootstraps. All right. So let me just check you there. No. So when Bill Clinton came in and did welfare reform and those things, brother, you need to really, really research that. They were minimizing what the Reagan and Nixon party administration have done. But go ahead.
Well, that's your opinion, but
No. Okay, wait.
Let me finish.
Okay, wait. Hey, dude, you called in. Slow down. So now you said something. Right? And you believe it was facts. I said something, and you said my facts is my opinion. So now we got to debate that now. Ain't no move on. So for what
you don't believe what I'm saying is facts.
Okay, wait, hold on, slow down. What I said is either true or opinion based? So let's talk about that. So let's go back
Okay.
to the Nixon administration, brother. You said war on crime. Let me
Well,
ask.
hold on. Don't
Wait,
move from the
wait.
Democrats. You
Okay, wait. So I'm taking it back, my boy. You said Nixon, you said Reagan, you said Bill Clinton. So I'm taking you back to Nixon. We're not moving on. We're going backwards. So,
okay? All right. Go
okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
So when you said war on crime, let me ask you, what crime in particular?
I guess you didn't understand when. No. I guess you didn't understand when I told you. See, you're making noise while I'm talking. You know what I'm saying? You always
it's a
you
simple
on joke
question.
time, but you
No,
can't mess with
but
me.
it's a
Just like
simple
I told
question.
you.
I'm asking you a simple
Listen to
question.
me.
Wait.
Let me finish.
Hey, bro.
You ain't even give me a chance to
But
answer.
listen. I got it. Listen what I'm saying. We don't need all that. You said war on crime. There's 1,000 crimes that could be done. Petty theft,
Yeah.
this and that, murder, capital murder.
Exactly.
I'm asking you, when it was a war on crime, what crime were they warring on in particular during the Nixon or Reagan administration? Brother, go.
Are you gonna let me answer?
Okay, yeah, but you gotta answer the question, or I'm gonna stop you. So
Oh,
what
I'm going to
crime?
answer. I'm going to
Okay,
answer the question
right,
the way
okay.
I want to.
No. It has to be the right answer. It can't be any old answer. Don't you believe in the right
Okay.
answer?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so give us the
And that's
right
what I'm
answer.
bring. And that's what I'm bringing to you.
Okay, slow down. So it shouldn't be a long song and dance. Brother, the question is real simple. What crime where the Reagan and Nixon administration was waging war on, brother? Just speak to that. Thank you.
Crimes in the lower wage communities.
Okay, tell us what type of crimes. Petty theft, car robbery, what are we talking about? Bank robbery? What type of crime?
See, now listen, unbiased. Let me say this. When I told you that Lee Atwater said that we were going to seek, and you even said it earlier, we're going to use terms like states' rights and
Hey, bro,
force busing.
I just want to know what
This
type
is
of
just
crime.
the same thing.
Wait.
War on crimes is the same
Okay.
thing. This is just black
Hey,
people is going to get hurt the worst. That's what it is.
IBM, listen what I'm
And
saying.
that's the Southern strategy. That's what
brother,
you don't get.
Just listen. No, I get it. Listen what I'm saying. Listen, I do get it. And you can't question me. I'll cook you. I'm asking you a simple question. There's 1,000 crimes that people can do. Lying, scamming, you could do adultery, you could do murder. So there's petty crimes, and then there's more severe crimes like capital murder. I'm asking you, what crimes were the Nixon and Reagan administration warring against? Brother, just tell us the
The
crime.
war on drugs was what it was. The war on drugs, war on crime, war on drugs. Those type of terminologies.
Okay.
Okay, they fit in the same basket, brother.
So stop. So the Nixon administration, what drug were they warring on?
Nixon started the war on crime.
No.
Reagan implemented it and put it into action.
Stop.
Okay, do you understand? I already explained that with Charles Darwin and Galton's theory. Analogy.
Hey, listen,
Go
brother.
ahead.
You have to understand what I'm asking you, man. Is that okay? You just said you went back. Listen what you did. You went back and said Nixon. You said war on crime. You left it blank. Bro, there's 1,000 crimes you can commit. So what war on crime were they warring against during the Nixon administration, brother? Go.
Okay. Now, this is where the
Just
lines
give
are
us the
blurred
crimes they were warring against, man.
Listen. Okay, I guess drugs.
What type of drug?
Stuff like that.
No. What type of drug? Let's get specific. What type of drug?
Well, you tell me since you know, because you're questioning me like you know. Go ahead and tell me,
brother. Okay, stop.
Because I'm bringing this to the community, and then you keep cutting me off every time I get ready to say something.
I got it, but everybody's listening, and people.
And this is stuff that you did not say when you just presented it, so you didn't have it,
bro. But here's the difference: you can't just say shit, right, and not know the in-betweens and shit like that.
Well, I know Bill Clinton put more people in prison than any other fucking president up until his presidency. So you gonna sit here and tell me that it wasn't he was trying to save us?
No. Hey, brother, that's a fallacy. What you did was a fallacy. Okay, so we're speaking on Nixon only. So you skip. So first of all, it was Nixon, Reagan, Bill Clinton. You skipped past Reagan, went to Bill Clinton. Hey, bro, it
I can
started
do
with.
that because I know the whole story that I'm
Sure,
presenting
sure you
here.
do, but you can't answer questions. So it started. Well, first of all, do you know who Michelle Alexander is, by the way?
No.
That's a damn shame. So Michelle
Okay.
Alexander is the
Go
woman
ahead, bro.
who wrote the book on about the new Jim Crow.
Okay.
Okay. That's who she's a well-known name in the community in the nation. Okay, she's the one that pointed out about the war on drugs. She exposed everything about the war on drugs that was secretly really anti-FBA. So you're talking and you don't know what you're talking about.
No, I
Okay.
said it means that black people get hurt
I'm
worse.
not
So
done.
it's
I'm not done. I'm
anti-FBA.
not done. I'm not
Black
done.
people get
I'm
hurt
not
the
done,
worst.
dude.
It's the
Dude.
same
You will
damn
have your
thing,
time.
bro.
Don't talk, dude. Don't talk while I'm talking. Don't talk while I'm talking. That's confusion, bro. Just let me say
Okay.
what I say, then you go. Okay, so you don't know who Michelle Alexander is. That's terrible because she wrote a bestseller book about the war on drugs. That's crazy how you're talking about the war on drugs and you don't know who Michelle Alexander is. That's crazy. How you don't know who a
Okay.
best listen, just relax, listen to me.
I'm just a man, brother.
Okay, I got it. I got it. But listen, you're a man in a lane, and the lane that you're talking about is the war on drugs. So it's like, how can you enter that lane and not know who Michelle Alexander is, who wrote the book, The New Jim Crow War on Drugs, Mass Incarceration? That's wild how you could be in that lane and never heard of her. Aren't you an activist?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
how you don't know
But
about the most
it's similar to you not knowing about
do,
Lee
do,
Atwater's speech
relax, relax.
exposing the Southern strategy.
Okay,
It's the
relax.
same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
Oh yeah.
No, no, no. Michelle Alexander, brother, whistleblower. Are those two whistleblowers?
Um, he wasn't planning on
No.
whistleblowing
Okay.
because he was saying it
Okay.
in front of the
Wait, wait,
Southern
wait.
strategy, but the
Bro, that's
tape
not the
got
question.
leaked.
That's not the question. I said Michelle Alexander was a whistleblower. Was those two folks you mentioned was a whistleblower?
No.
Okay. So whistleblowers are more important than regular people who just talking with an opinion. Because the Tuskegee experiment that was blown out of the way by a whistleblower. A whistleblower stopped the Tuskegee experiment.
Okay.
Okay, so whistleblowers get more credit than an average regular fool with an opinion because
Blow the whistle.
you stopped something major from happening. Okay, so Michelle Alexander was a
Hold
whistleblower.
up. Let me say something.
No,
Let me
no,
say
no,
something. Let
no,
me
no,
say
no,
something.
no, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, because
All
you
right.
gotta
Go ahead.
listen
Go
and
ahead. Go
take
ahead.
in what I'm saying. You gotta
Go ahead.
listen and take in. So you gotta listen. You gotta actually listen. So Michelle Alexander was a whistleblower who blew, she was a defense attorney who was a whistleblower on the plot that white supremacists had locking black people up for creating a mass incarceration state for allegedly the war on drugs. But it was racially motivated. It was racially discriminated. They were not attacking non-black FBA people. They were attacking just black people. That's a whistleblower. So you're talking to me and you don't know the difference between a whistleblower and a regular person with an opinion. That's weird to me. Okay, so hold on,
Can I
hold
say
on.
something,
No,
man?
no,
You said
wait.
a
You
lot
gotta
right
okay,
there.
dude. Listen, you can leave the show. I don't need you here. You volunteered to call in. I can
Okay.
continue
All
without
right.
you.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, right. So you're
Peace.
gonna respect the show and you're gonna speak when I say go. Like any other show you join. When you join JJ, you gotta shut the fuck up. When you call somebody, you gotta shut
Okay.
the fuck
Well,
up. So it's the same thing here.
I just
You
called.
gotta,
I just called to
okay,
help out. I didn't
okay. No,
call
no,
to
no.
be,
You didn't help me out on nothing. You
talked
didn't help me
over.
out on nothing. No, you didn't. Matter of
Oh
fact,
yeah, I helped you out because you didn't know about
okay.
Lee Atwater.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna block you on Facebook again. Goodbye.
Do what you do.
Goodbye. Okay? This is a fool who calls in who claims to speak about the war on drugs and mass incarceration, but don't know who Michelle Alexander is, who was the whistleblower to expose the war on drugs. Like, how the hell you don't know about her and you're talking about the war on drugs? That's impossible. That's impossible. That's impossible. There's no way you don't know about Michelle Alexander and the war on drugs. And you're speaking about the war on drugs. This is an unqualified individual. As a matter of fact, you better not say one thing in the chat. I'm gonna block you. Okay? You're an idiot, bro. You're not on nobody's level at all. You're an idiot who got conspiracy theories and not even half. You got like 1/4 research on shit. Oh, you don't know about, yeah, of course. I don't know about everybody. Like everybody's not important. Like what the like I don't know Michael Jordan's like agent, or like let's say I don't know his agent and I don't know his advisor. I don't know his lawyer. So what the fuck that mean? Oh, you don't know his lawyer? Oh. The hell I gotta do with his stats? Just stupid gotcha. These are fallacies. These are the gotcha. Yo, do you know about so and so? No. Why should I? I'm a Foundation Black American who's an activist who speaks on certain shit. Why the fuck I care about that person? So I'm giving him a opportunity to explain why that person is even need to be in FBA ADOS conversation, and he failed to do that. You're a loser who calls in with stupid shit. Okay? You don't know. Yeah, he mentioned Richard Nixon, war on crime. He mentioned Ronald Reagan, war on crime. And I asked him, what was the war? What was the crime they were warring against in specific? He doesn't know. Now, Michelle Alexander, in her book, The New Jim Crow, she talks about the war that they actually specifically was warring against. Dude, you're a dumb fool who does not read. You watch YouTube videos for your information. You cherry pick your information, my boy. You're different. We're different. I'm him, you're them. We're different. But anyway, so he wasted our time for 20, 30 minutes. But let me get back. All right. So let me get into what I want to talk about. All right. So for one, you know what? Where I want to go first. I'm gonna go here first. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here first. Okay, so let me go where I was supposed to go. So you have Thomas Sowell. Who's this? So you have Thomas Sowell, you got Larry Elder, right? So Thomas Sowell, or you Soul, because a black conservative say Sowell ain't his name. His name is Tom. His name is Soul, Thomas Soul. Okay, whatever. Thomas Soul. Okay, he claims that black, and you will hear a lot of conservatives. Matter of fact, let me finish on that. So you got black conservative coons who just hate black people. They deal with self-hatred, and you have Afrocentric conservatives who base their conservatisms on religious principles. Okay, so their religious principles, they're against abortions. That's why, so they align themselves with Catholics. So they're against abortions. And then that's one major thing that a black conservative, whether Afrocentric or a coon like Thomas Sowell or Larry Elder or Candace Owens, they're going to be 100% abortions, right? They don't give a damn about any science, and they're going to base their viewpoints on religion, like disregarding that a lot of people are not religious, and we don't base our opinion on abortion or uh, prophylactics on a religious ideology. All right. So, so specifically, people like Larry Elder and Thomas Sowell, what they would say is that black people at Foundational Black Americans, ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, were doing better under Jim Crow than post Jim Crow, right? So they would say during Jim Crow, we were better off than the integration period. So you'll hear this sentiment parroted by pro-Black Afrocentric organizations and groups like the Nation of Islam, the Hebrew Israelites, you dig, specifically, and also like any Marcus Garvey movement, any, RBG, all that bullshit, Black Panther movement, they will repeat that same bullshit talking point. But it is based on a religious perspective. It's not based on a scientific or sociologist data type shit. It's religious based only. And I'm not here to debate religion, but we're gonna talk about some shit like this. Let me see your sources. All right. So they will say we were doing better during Jim Crow because we had two-parent homes that equal more wealth, equal higher progress. All right. So give me a second. I gotta wake my son up. So just allow me to play. I'm gonna play the Lord Jamar video I just did. Okay, so give me a second. Hold on. I gotta wake him up. It's 7 o'clock. He's been asleep since 5. Yeah, he won't go to sleep later. All right, so give me a second to get him up. Give me a second. Yeah. Hey, Donnie, isn't that crazy? Yeah, he had no idea who Michelle Alexander is, but he's talking about war on drugs. Like she got the best case. She's a lawyer. She's not just a lawyer. She's a civil rights lawyer. You dig? Like her job was to defend our civil rights. So her expertise was on shit like mass incarceration. You dig? Things that favor other folks and disfavor Black Americans. Yeah, that Donnie, that's wild. Them to come on here and promote his bullshit and not know who Michelle Alexander is. That's like not knowing who Dr. King is, but you're talking about the Civil Rights Act. Like really, she is, I'm gonna say, she is just as instrumental as Dr. King was during the Civil Rights movement as Michelle Alexander was exposing the new Jim Crow in the 2000s, bro. She's just as important as Dr. King. She exposed a real disgusting system. Okay, her book was the truth, and for him not to know her is like, dude, what are we doing, dude? You're not on nobody's level, my boy. Yeah, come on, what are we doing, my boy? Like really. All right, so let me just play the Lord Jamore thing just real quickly as I get him up, and I'm gonna continue where I left off at right now. So just give me a second. I apologize, but he got to get up or he won't go to sleep later. All right. Laura, what is that? What's that? Why you got it? You too old. Yeah, you too old, Laura. Yeah, give it to Shiloh. You too old. All right. Give me a second to pull this Lord Jamar tether up. All right, give me a second to wake him up. Right.
Lord Jamar. Where Vlad did an interview with D.L. Hughley, and basically he misquoted the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He heard a portion of a speech that he gave, where he used an analogy of using a rock of truth, not a physical rock, but a rock
good,
of
family?
truth
Let's get it.
to bash one over the head with. Vlad heard the part just about the rock. Took it to heart because it was being talked about, Jewish people. And, had a conversation with DL that looked very misleading to those that saw the whole clip. Once it was brought to his attention that there was more to the clip, and I believe I may have been the one to bring it to his attention, I recommended that, something had to be remedied. So within 24 hours, Vlad edited out once it was brought to his attention that there was more to the clip, and I believe I may have been the one to bring it to his attention, I recommended that, something had to be remedied. So within 24 hours, Vlad edited out his comments in the clip where he accused the minister, and he also changed the title of the clip. But he didn't give a formal apology, which I advised him he should give.
On this is backlashing on me.
Did they give you a call?
People that were doing that?
No.
People
the public.
in general.
Yeah.
The whole consensus was, yo, this nigga's disrespecting the minister.
Yeah, but y'all
you are standing with this dude.
You found out earlier than me because during COVID I was still doing some Vlad interviews, at the crib. Then I get DMs going, oh, so you gonna keep tap dancing for this motherfucking Vlad? I'm like, what the fuck? And I had just I just filmed with Vlad and I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And so and Vlad goes, yo man, are we cool? I just want to make sure that everything's cool, everything's all right. I go, what are you talking about? I was like, he's like, no. Straight up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We called them like men on the fucking three-way. Boom. Yo, Vlad, yo, check it out. Yeah, it's me and Godfrey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom, bam, boom.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, man. You know what I mean? This whole shit with the Farrakhan shit, and I feel like this is how it first was said. Like, yo, bro, you kind of need to, like, just apologize, man. You know what I mean?
He was like, I'm not apologizing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he said he sent out a thing. Remember, he sent out a little sort of an apology, like a thing that I made a mistake. I said, you didn't say sorry,
that
bro.
That ain't a real, like.
It was bullshit.
Yeah.
It was like a company, when a company's racially discriminating against you.
It's the
management.
It's the apology, not apology.
But first of all, he made Nick Cannon apologize for what he said, and Nick did it because, well, Nick had a lot to lose. I'm glad Nick did it because he hires a lot of African Americans. He goes, he's not, as soon as a black dude says something about, his folks, all of a sudden he turns into, fuck you, black dude, don't talk shit about me, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, he needs to apologize. All of a sudden this superiority thing comes in. Nick did, and then you can't do that for us. And whether you like Farrakhan or not, whether you like Al Sharpton or whatever, those are people that represent us. They're not perfect, we get it. And there's nobody perfect on your side.
Farrakhan is still revered.
Big time.
In the black community.
Big time.
Yes.
And I don't give a fuck what your personal feelings are. You're not going to disrespect the man amongst black people.
All right, so family, I introduced the FBA News Updates for a reason. This is my time to talk because folks be like, hey, you comment too much during the video. So I inserted this right here to let you know this is my time to talk. You just can't place somebody else's content on your video free willy-nilly without getting a flag. You have to talk. That's part of the free you know what I mean, free use. I have to give commentary after a minute, but I just want to say that. So let me let the video play.
It was freaking.
So it got to a point where we tried to give him the easy way.
Yes, we did.
And he didn't want that. And he was like, well, yo, fuck that. He still said negative shit about Jewish people. You know, basically, I'm not fucking with him. And so then it was like, so then I came at him with the gangster shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, ain't nothing gangster about you, my boy.
As you should. I'm like, yo, bro, if you don't fucking apologize, bro, really now I said something to the effect of, now it's time, it's past the point of even asking anymore.
Yeah, right.
I said, bro, you need to apologize.
Period.
If you don't apologize, we not fucking with you no more.
Fair use, Chad.
Man, he still stood on 10 toes.
He said, well, I'm not going to be
bullied.
I'm not going to be bullied into.
Yeah. Oh, he did that. Their black aggression.
Okay, so like Chad Smith said, fair use. Okay, in order to be fair use, I have to comment after 1 minute, you dig, of me sharing original content from these guys' channels. It could be Vlad, it could be Godfrey, or even Lord Jamore. Like, to be honest, you got 1 minute and you got a comment. So I'll let it play as much as I can.
Terrorists. Yeah, and then he said, well, I want to sit down with the minister. And everybody was like, well, who the fuck are you to want to sit down? We don't even get to sit down with him. So that happened, and then he stood on 10 toes, and then Lord Jamar on the phone said, you know what? Fuck it then. We gonna go our way, you go your way. And I went with him. I said, yeah, this because I thought it was the right thing to do if he's not gonna apologize.
Okay, so what you're watching right now is Godfrey giving his testimony on the situation. So Godfrey, I wouldn't call him a tether. Like, neither one of these guys are FBA. So Minister Louis Farrakhan, he's from the islands. Godfrey is from Nigeria, and Lord Jamar is from the islands. None of these guys are FBA. If you believe they're FBA, please ask for the link or the calling number and put me on. You dig? But none of these guys are FBA, all right? And I did enough research where I can prove my position.
And listen, and then from there, he says, oh, yeah, I think he's going to go back on Vlad. I said, I never said that. I'm never going black. He said, he's talking to him now. That's just, what grade are we in? What grade are you in? Bro, I was like, I'm not going back on there because if I did, it would ruin everything I stood for. People would be like, what the fuck? Why the fuck would I do that?
So to
All right, so let me just briefly say that just because you are not FBA, it does not mean you're an op or against us. Listen, Africans in Africa, FBA, listen, I know we're mad at certain Africans, but we got love for Africa, and we wish them well. Ibrahim Traoré, what he's doing, we wish he's successful. We wish him well. We don't have a problem with Africa or Africans. We have a problem with tethers in Africa that are African. We don't have a problem with the island, right? Or the West Indies or the Haitians. We have a problem because you got a lot of ride-or-die Africans, a lot of ride-or-die Haitians, a lot of ride-or-die West Indians. Okay, we got a problem with tethers. So guys, don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. We don't got a problem with Africans. That's all 54 states of Africa. We don't have a problem with the West Indies, right? And we don't got a problem with Haitians. We got a problem with tethers of the Haitian class tethers of the West Indian class, tethers of the African continent class, and also Hispanics and even white folks that are tethers in their countries. We got a problem with tethers. We don't got a problem with people in general. You dig? That's not us.
Sagan, peace. He said, remember when y'all got into it with Vlad? Godfrey really didn't want to leave Vlad's platform from the get-go. He didn't. I gangstered him into it. This is how I know he's easily manipulated, because I did it to him. I did that shit to him. I painted us in the corner. He didn't want to leave Vlad like that. He was on the phone. He's talking about, well, maybe we just take a break. I said, take a break? Taking a break? We ain't taking no fucking breaks. Yo, bro, you're going to have to do this or we're not fucking with you at all. Paint in the corner. And he knew that he couldn't really go against that. He couldn't go against that because that would have made him look super foul. That would have made him look super foul.
Yeah, Lord Jamar is going back to Vlad. He's going back to Vlad, man. I'm like, wow. And he was saying that I was going to go and sell out and go back to Vlad, and he just went back to Vlad. Man, that's corny ass shit. I'm not going back. You out your mind. I don't have no beef with him. I don't have a beef with Vlad at all. I'm just not going back to the show because, you know, what he did was wrong. Culturally, it was just off. It wasn't cool. So I'm not going back. No, I don't have a beef with Vlad at all, but I'm not going back though.
All right, so real quick, hey Bama. Lord Jamar has never said his mother was FBA. All right, so I know, Bama, you got good intentions, but you're spewing misinformation, and don't do that. I will allow you. You have a wrench. You can produce the link where Lord Jamar says mother's FBA. So Chad is right. Lord Jamar has never said his mother was FBA. Okay, so as far as he knows, right, and we don't know more than him, as far as he knows, he's Guyanese only. He's not half and half. As far as Lord Jamar knows, he's only Guyanese. Just keep watching the video. That's all. But he's not FBA. And if he is, I will allow you guys to produce the facts, which I know does not exist.
You know, that would just be foolish. It just goes against. I mean, just too many sellouts out here. It's just too much. We got to be able to stand on principle sometimes. And this Negro is going back to him. He went back yesterday, I think, because Lord Jamar is mad that and it was me and Lord Jamar. Oh my God. Yo, your man, Lord Jamar went back to Vlad. He went back to Vlad, man.
That part not supposed to be seen. I don't know what happened with editing, but whatever. We ain't always perfect. Whatever. Just enjoy the information because I got the information. So this part is bullshit. This is supposed to be edited out, but whatever. All this right here is not supposed to happen, but whatever.
What was the question again?
YouTube is doing. I
got twisted in two. And at the end of the day,
now I don't know what this is about right here. This is YouTube.
Man.
YouTube is skipping. That's not me. My information. This is supposed to be flow perfectly. This is YouTube skipping. This is not your brother, FBA News and Updates. This is not me at all. This is YouTube skipping. I did this live over and over again, and YouTube is skipping important scenes. That's on them. All right, because YouTube is ran by Lear Cohen. So that's all I got to say about that. But all this right here, this is not me. This is YouTube. But Lord Jamar is not FBA. Please provide the information that he is, without question. I'm here to learn.
Would you be willing to have a conversation with Farrakhan?
I was always willing to have a conversation with Farrakhan. And that's, if I want to address some of the misconceptions, when I first, misquoted him. What was the question again? I lost my train of thought a little bit.
I asked you, would you be willing to sit down with
Right,
Farrakhan?
sorry. Thank you. So when this whole thing happened, the first phone call I got was from the guy I dealt with in the NOI. And the first thing he said was, hey, let's address this misquote. Do an interview with Nuri Muhammad about it. And I said, well, that doesn't make any sense because I wasn't talking about Nuri. I was talking about Farrakhan. So I'm not going to have a conversation with someone who I wasn't talking about the person I was talking about. But if he's open to it, I'm willing to have a conversation with Farrakhan about it on or off camera. I got twisted into Vlad will only apologize if he gets an interview with Farrakhan, which honestly was never said. It was never said like that. And at the end of the day, you can't take a person's whole story and say, well, I don't like this one phrase he used on this one day and throw away all the other accomplishments. That's just not fair. You look at what he's actually done for his own community, you can't deny it. And let me be clear, I would like to apologize to Minister Farrakhan for misquoting him back in 2020.
Yo, your man, Lord Jamar went back to Vlad. He went back to Vlad, man.
When the Farrakhan incident came into play, basically the sentiment is, see, we always told you about your man. Like, here he goes, doing that shit that we've been accusing him of the whole time. And I'm like, damn, Vlad, don't do that. Don't prove these motherfuckers right. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Because now it's not just the Farrakhan stuff. You got two dudes that you're saying is your friends and or business assets as well. And we're telling you, bro, apologize. Apologize. And you're like, you know,
No.
So now I know that probably, you know what I mean, made you feel like, oh, well, I'm not gonna be bullied now into apology, and then you still was just like, I'm willing to sacrifice y'all, my association with y'all, your friendship, all of that, for whatever you felt like you were standing on at the time.
I think that's a fair description of what happened.
Okay, I'll get it. I'm gonna get it.
I think the argument comes from because there's Tariq Nasheed. I fuck with a lot of his shit,
But he's not even from our world.
I know, but as far as just Black history and foundational Black America, and I'm not foundational Black American because my parents Nigerian. So this is what I'm thinking, that Tariq Nasheed is just trying to claim, we need to claim our stake as far as just, I get the whole thing. It's not like I don't get it. I've read enough where I understand Black people, I like that they are being hardcore about it. But then when you're shitting on the other Black folks, that's when I have a problem with, because I'm
That's fine.
But then when you're shitting on the other Black thing, it's not like I don't get it. I've read enough where I understand Black people, I like that they are being hardcore about it. But then when you're shitting on the other Black folks, that's when I have a problem with, because but then when you're shitting on other Black folks, that's when I have a problem.
Adams, you know, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, ever since this whole, I was hearing about this whole ADOS, from the minute I heard about it, it was like a division.
Yeah.
Amongst black people.
Yeah.
It was a division. It seemed like some sort of, well, you're not American enough. Like, what's your lineage? Like, Adams, you know, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, ever since this whole, I was hearing about this whole ADOS, from the minute I heard about it, it was like a division.
Yeah.
Amongst black people.
Yeah.
It was a division. It seemed like some sort of, well, you're not American enough. Like, what's your lineage?
That's what I'm saying. How disrespectful they've been to them. Exactly.
Right, but then this is also, to
That's
me, I
foul.
see this as a divide and conquer thing. So now I'm supposed to get oh, word? That's what the Jamaicans are saying? Well, then fuck that, you know? And on the, and on the list of tangibles, I would assume that that's where this ADOS comes in, because I'm thinking that certain people would hope that the tangibles, that the part of the tangibles would be reparations for the ADOS movement. Yes?
Yes.
Is that what I'm to believe? Now,
Not just that, but definitely number one on the list.
right.
Right.
Yes. Before you add on, I just would like to say, now there's some that feel that this movement is quite divisive and just another way to divide black people. My thing is, there was a lot of suffering done by all of us at different times in America. I don't give a fuck if you got to America 5 years ago, from whatever fucking country. If you black, you're gonna go through you're gonna suffer some bullshit. Let's just say we all get $2 million, all black people that can prove it, that, they have lineage here in these North America, and they were slaves here, and they get $2 million. What the fuck do you think these motherfuckers are gonna do with that money? They just give the money right back. They just would give the money right back. Just like you get your taxes and all that tax time coming, half of these motherfuckers giving that shit right back to the within 6 hours. Sometimes in the motherfucking black community, needs to be running around with like the shit would be fucking crazy, like, and all the guns and and Mercedes and blinged out.
So we know that it was against FBA, ADOS, the whole inception of it, and you see that he's against reparations for ADOS, he's against reparations for American freedmen, he's against reparations for FBA, Foundational Black America. He's against reparations exclusively for people who could tie their lineage to slavery. He's against that. That's you'll see.
Would just be they just give the money right back. They just would give the money right back. Just like you get your taxes and all that tax time coming, half of these motherfuckers giving that shit right back to the within 6 hours. Sometimes in the motherfucking black community. Needs to be running around with like the shit would be fucking crazy. Like, and all.
Are you Ados?
Here's the thing. On my father's side,
is he Ados? On my father's side, no.
We trace back to Guyana.
He's Guyanese.
Caribbean then.
South American, yes.
South American. But he's not even Caribbean. He's South American.
It's in South America, but it's considered Caribbean in a way.
Got it.
It's one of the
South American countries. The West Indian Day Parade, I think pretty sure I see Guyana flags flying around.
In South America.
Right.
Just like you might see Honduras or something like but that's all in South America.
So
anyway,
more education. Guyanese
now my
people
mother is adopted, so I don't know her.
Okay, so
I still got to do some research on.
Okay, so that was for the chat. So for the chat, who's saying he's half FBA and half tether? That's a lie. He's 100% non-FBA, and he's only a tether because he's against FBAs. As you hear him, he's against reparations. Okay, so he doesn't know where his mother's from. So he knows his father's from Guyana, right? So he knows his father's from Guyana. He knows. Okay, let's slow it down. He knows his father's from Guyana. He does not know where his mother's from. Okay, so knowing your father's from Guyana and not knowing where your mother's from, that does not equals FBA. That equals your non-FBA. You dig? Figure out your mother and holler back.
You know what I mean? I actually discovered one side of her father. Now I got to trace where his family's from, but I did the trace on my father's side. So on that side, no, I'm not Ados. It's possible I'm on my mother's side.
Okay, so you see, he's saying his father's side, he knows for a fact that he's not FBA. He's saying his mother's side, that's in question. Okay, so brother, figure that shit out, because not knowing does not equal your FBA. Not knowing means you're not due any reparational benefit. So because anybody, all of us, we need to source up and prove we're FBA, or you're not getting a check. You're not getting tangibles, you're not getting equity and whatever else that comes with reparations. Not just cash, but we want land and some other shit. And if you don't know and you can't prove it, then you're going to be on hold like this guy. So Apostle West, I put the phone number in there, brother. Just call in once the video's over. Let's have a dialogue. I'm very positive. I'm very friendly. You dig? I'm not those folks who argue and try to embarrass you. I have a real love conversation with you. As long as you're respectful, I will return that.
I am. But see, again, Gemini, that's some bullshit.
And Aaron,
but
also
anyway,
same for you.
Who here in America are direct descendants of the slavery and I'm assuming that happened here on this land in America, and they're probably not even thinking about South America or anything like that. But let's just say they're isolating it to just here in just America. Well, now immediately they've isolated the South Americans.
Okay, so the first question was he for reparations for foundation of Black Americans, American descendants of slaves, freedmen, American freedmen? The answer was clearly no. He was not supportive. He was not supportive of that. He even agreed with Vlad that it should not happen. So now the question is Jamar FBA? Okay, because Jamar won't admit that out of his mouth, even though he gives clues that he's not. So the question now is he FBA? So I don't know if you guys know, but he and Tariq Nasheed had a conversation about FBAs and tethers and non-FBAs, and let's see how that works out for him. Aaron, Apostle, and whoever else, just call. I put the phone number there. Just call and have a brotherly conversation with your boy. I'm Ron. That's me. Okay, my channel is FBA News and Updates. This is an update.
What's this whole ADOS movement?
Lovejoy.
And how is
hit the like button, definitely. You guys have not been liking the videos lately.
How is that not something that's
how my video goes to other folks' live feeds, get new folks here. You gotta hit the like button. If you're a supporter, you rock what I'm doing, hit the like button. If you're a hater, I don't expect you to.
In this country, like how do we decide who's who?
Now, foundational Black Americans, because over here in the North American continent,
this is Tariq and Lil Jamar talking
we're
back
the
and forth.
founders of the United States. There was no United States until foundational Black Americans built it. So we are acknowledging our own designation. So that's not divisive because other groups do this.
And I just feel like we need to come together as Black people. You know what I mean? As much as
we need more likes for sure.
And it just feels like
peace, Ricardo.
That type of thought, and I understand where you're coming from with it, but it feels like that type of thought helps to
don't say divide. Divide. Don't say divide.
Together.
Okay, this is the problem, Lord Jamal. That division is caused by non-FBA. Foundational Black Americans, we have been the only people fighting for everybody.
Thank you for liking the
First
video.
of all, there's a lot of there's a lot of divide and conquer with this. There's a lot.
He keeps saying divide. That's
bullshit that goes into this talk of reparations.
FBAs don't talk like that unless you're Black conservatives.
Who gets it? And
both of my parents, on both sides of the family, we can trace everything back to plantations in Alabama and North Carolina. So my family, 100% foundational Black Americans. Nobody in my family immigrated.
How many people do that, though?
We can. We can do that. Most of us can.
That are claiming to be can really do that. Keep it.
You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mama and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right,
So
a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do these traces. Like, I physically have been through this shit. Like, I've seen it. Like, I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all that slavery type of shit, like, the records are not what you think.
There's outliers to it, but generally, it's pretty easy to trace your lineage back to slavery, to a plantation, or it's easy to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census. The average person who can trace their lineage back to 1870, 9 times out of 10, you came from a slave plantation because they'll list you as a farm worker or domestic or something like that. So that means you came most likely from a slave plantation. And that's a little bit different from somebody who immigrated over because you wouldn't be eligible for a reparations claim. We can't open up that door, and this is for several reasons. If we start letting African and Caribbean brothers start getting reparations based on the Jim Crow treatment, then what's going to happen? The damn white Hispanics are going to start saying, okay, well, damn it, I was mistreated too. And then it's going to undermine the reparations claim. We respect CARICOM. Over in the Caribbean, they have a reparations movement. You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mama and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right,
So
a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do these traces. Like, I physically have been through this shit. Like, I've seen it. Like, I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all of that slavery type of shit, like, the records are not what you...
Both of my parents, on both sides of the family, we can trace everything back to plantations in Alabama and North Carolina. So my family, 100% foundational Black Americans. Nobody in my family immigrated.
How many people can do that, though? Do you think?
We can. We can do that. Most of us can.
How many that are claiming to be can really do that? Keep it real.
You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mama and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right,
So
a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do these.
Okay, so family, the reason why he's saying it's not easy, yes, he's correct. it's not easy if you're a $5 foundation Black American. Okay. If you're a $5 foundational Black American, yes, tracing your lineage to a plantation or to the 1870s census is almost impossible. He's correct. Okay. But if you are indeed FBA, ADOS, American Freedmen, it is very easy. It's not difficult. My name is Unbiased Ron. This is my channel, FBA News Updates. I can easily trace my family to 1865 effortlessly. Okay. So for somebody who's not Foundation Black American, ADOS, yes, it will be nearly impossible. But if you are indeed a Foundation Black American or ADOS, same thing. Foundation Black American, ADOS. If you are that, it's very easy for you to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census and maybe even further, like some of us can do. But he's not getting that. It's like, dude, you can't trace it back because you're not us. That's why it's so hard for you, my boy. Your buck stops at 1910, 1920, 1930, Ellis Island. You stop at Ellis Island, my boy.
These traces, like I physically have been through this shit. Like I've seen it. Like I went down that rabbit hole for a second, and when you get to all that slave,
there are outliers
shit to it.
There's outliers to it, but generally, it's pretty easy to trace your lineage back to slavery, to a plantation, or it's easy to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census. The average person who can trace their lineage back to 1870, 9 times out of 10, you came from a slave plantation because they'll list you as a farm worker or domestic or something like that. So that means you came most likely from a slave plantation. And that's a little bit different from somebody who immigrated over because you wouldn't be eligible for a reparations claim.
It's my great-grandfather on my father's side that wasn't born here.
Family, listen to his receipt.
It's my great-grandfather on my father's side that wasn't born here.
Great-grandfather.
How does one know?
Father's side. How does one know?
Foundational American.
Okay, so now these questions, family, listen to me. I'm not going to deceive you. I'm not going to misdirect you. I'm telling you, this dude's not FBA. The questions and the position he's in. Now, there are some FBAs who have been adopted, right? They don't know who their mother is, who their father is. They've been adopted by a total separate, different person. Those folks got more to say, right? And we could sympathize and empathize with them. But Lord Jamar is not one of them. Okay, so an orphan, we got to empathize. We're not giving a check, but we can feel where they're coming from. Lord Jamar, the fact that his father came from Jamaica or Guyana to America, we know that we got one parent that's non-FBA for sure. He doesn't know where his mother's from, which we don't believe. And you see Turkey and she just pressing him. And it's like, yo, wait a minute. Did you live with your mom? Yes. So you never asked your mom where she's from? And you dig? Like, yo, that don't make any sense. Like, so when your mom was cooking, was she cooking Big Mac, ham, hog, you dig, chitlins and fried chicken and fish? Or was she cooking jerk chicken and goddamn oxtails? Like, dude, it's not that difficult, man. Like, what the fuck was your mom cooking? Excuse my French, but this is getting annoying. But dude, what was your mom cooking, my boy? We could settle this right now. But he's being invasive on purpose. And we know he's a tether.
A few years back, did a like an ancestral so I had just did on my father's side, right?
Your father's side, right? Sure.
But in doing all of this, and I'm going to tell you, it traced back to Guyana. Right?
Of course it did.
Right.
Nigga, you.
So I had
you Guyanese,
side, right? And I'm going to tell you, it traced back to Guyana.
Shout out to Guyana. You dig? No,
we can trace back.
My family suffered from redlining and all that type of shit.
I'm sure they did.
I know how you feel about like Jamaicans that come here.
Nah, it's not
right
about
now,
Jamaicans. It's not about Nigerians. It's about black
loans. My
foreigners.
family
I'm
didn't
sure
go
y'all
through
suffered. We suffered.
My family didn't get all that when they came here.
Integration.
We
I'm sure you
lived
did.
as regular black
You're not
people.
due reparations.
So
save it.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. That would not, if they came over and they immigrated, because your family came from immigrants. They immigrated over here, and you can
Ellis Island.
Because your family came from immigrants. They immigrated over here, and you can Ellis Island.
Right.
I know the boat.
Hey, that's very different.
So he knows the boat. Hey, peace to Music Depot. I just gave you a wrench, my boy. I can't tag you because you got the little music symbol there, but I did give you a wrench. So you're free to say what you got to say. But like Lord Jamore he's in denial. See, Godfrey knows he's not FBA. And bro, listen, you're not less or more if you're from Nigeria, Ghana, Sudan, you dig? Guyana, Jamaica. You're not less Haitian. You're not less or more. You dig? Because you can't just be proud of where you're from, and we will rock with you as long as you rock with us. You dig? We don't rock with folks who are disrespectful and undermining what we got going on. It's real simple. If you're disrespectful or if you undermine what we got going on, you're a tether. If you don't, you family. It's real simple, man. It's not that difficult.
Get a reparations claim like that.
Because you can't get a reparations claim.
You're not getting reparations,
like
Lord
that.
Jamar.
And it's very important to not mix it up.
But now keep in mind, this is just my father's side.
I know, but you don't know your mother's side. So you
all have two sides now. My mother's side, I ain't traced that yet.
Now, my mother's
go trace
side,
that
I
then.
ain't traced that yet.
Y'all would know who the southern side of her family was. So if y'all don't know, that means she's from the Caribbean.
Right.
Because I can understand that you don't know your dad. That's one thing. And your mom didn't tell you where your grandmother was from? Your mom didn't say shit? She had to come from somewhere. Either immigrated from another country or came from the South. If she's black, right?
Right. Let's just stop, bro. If you're black, you came from the South, period. Now, there's a small percentage of FBA ADOS, American Freedmen Northerners, who never went to the South. But that, again, that's a small, tiny percentage. But you will be able to prove that, though, easily. All right. So, Music Depot, peace, my brother. Welcome. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video, bro. You're welcome to the family. And here we go. I got some more stuff coming up.
It's just fine.
So this is original content here. I got some more stuff gonna be original, but I'm gonna do my reactions as well. So I do original content, and I also do reactions. You dig?
And not where your parents are from and where your grandparents are from. Your grandmother, if you knew your grandmother has a birth certificate.
Exactly.
Right? Look at the birth certificate and see where she was born.
It ain't that difficult.
And then see what her mother and father's name was. It's on the birth certificate. And then see where they were born. You trace
Everybody like the video. The lights got to get up,
go
please.
all the way back to the 1870 census
family and
that
supporters.
make you a foundational Black American. All you got to do is just trace the parents back. Okay, some of these folks, you don't know where your mama's really from. Okay, like my mom's from New York. We kind of lost, and then okay, well, folks. Okay, I don't know how y'all don't be knowing where your mama from, and you don't know your mama's side of the family. At least I can understand the dad's side might be a little sketchy.
Because we got single parent homes. Your mom,
that raises red flags.
100% red flags.
That raises a lot of red flags from folks don't be knowing what their mama's side of the family is. All right. That's weird.
100%.
And I feel like they want us to spend our energy on this conversation when we really need to be focusing our energy on more practical things.
More practical things? What are you talking about? Hey, let the minister talk.
We have to press the government for reparations.
You dig?
Farrakhan, that's a pipe dream. Well, damn, you better put it in your pipe then.
You smoke it.
You better start smoking what this is.
Right. Reparations,
that
baby.
mess that you talking ain't making no damn sense.
No sense at all.
You gonna wait around here another 100 years so they can bamboozle you
no,
some
sir.
more?
No, we not.
We need land.
We need land, equity. Yes, we do. Not just cash, haters.
So reparation gotta be on the agenda.
It better be.
We need land.
You need
Mr.
land.
President.
100%.
You got all this Federal Reserve land. What you reserving it for? Yeah, we need cash. Hell yeah, print some more.
Mr. Farrakhan is definitely a supporter. He's not FBA. He's I think Guyanese or Barbados. He's from Barbados.
Force him to tell you, nigga, I ain't
But
giving
his
you
family.
nothing.
Force him to say I ain't giving you
If
nothing.
you put it on the table strong enough, he'll come out of his bag.
Right. Come out of his bag. Come out that pocket, baby. Put that money.
Be together. This ain't no damn unity party with punks. This ain't no unity party with people who don't want the true liberation of black people.
Right. So Mr. Louis Farrakhan was deleting for any of us Rita Peter or Claude or Steve. Mr. Louis Farrakhan was deleting in the 80s and 90s.
This ain't that kind of party. So you take your raggedy ass on home.
Right.
For those who want liberation. Those who want to see black people really free at last.
Yeah, Brad is smart.
You walk away
I'm not
from
hating
these
on Brad. I'm not hating on Brad. I already
Let's
know what to
unite
say.
the like-minded of us. If we are
Listen to the
like-minded
minister.
on reparations and on justice for our people, we are brothers indeed. But a black face ain't gonna make you no brother today. Go ahead. We tired of these black-faced, white-hearted. Go ahead. Say
You heard
that.
Minister Louis Farrakhan said, a black face does not make you family. He said, we're tired of these black faces that are white-hearted. Okay. And that's what a tether is. Okay. A tether is a black face that is white-hearted. A coon, a COON, is a black face white-hearted. So I'm going to run that back with Minister real fast so you can hear that. You catch that.
But a black face ain't gonna make you no brother today. Go ahead. We tired of these black-faced, white-hearted. Go ahead. Say that. Masquerading as though you're within you. Say that. Masquerading as though you're within you.
Let me say that again. I am not black.
Listen to this Nigerian
Hear
tether.
me out.
She's not black.
Growing up, my mom absolutely hated when we refer to ourselves as black.
Disrespect.
She's like, you're not black, you're Nigerian, you're African. I feel like the term someone is black obviously comes from the slave era.
Black
but
is
it
midnight
also
talking shit.
just describes displaced people that don't know their heritage. So I feel like people that do know their heritage, to try and curb racism in some way, people are going to be racist. Ignorance is ignorance. You can't. But just curb racism in a small way. Stop referring to yourself as black. You know, if you know where you're from, you're raised in a certain household. You know, Somalians are Somalians, Ethiopians are Ethiopians, Nigerians are Nigerians. Like, if you know where you're from, why refer to yourself as a color? I feel like when we say black, it just sounds so harsh and like, this is black. I'm brown. You know, I'm Nigerian at the end of the day. Like, that's who I am. That's where I come from. So I understand when you say black British or black American, because you don't know where you're from. You're just a person of color in the city that you're in. Obviously, you still be treated the way you're treated, but just like, I feel like it just, when I hear someone refer to me as black, it just sounds so harsh, especially coming from a certain demographic.
Yeah, Gemini.
I think if you have the privilege of knowing where you're from, you shouldn't refer to yourself as a color, because it further, you know, pushes the racism narrative. And
the way how African Americans prioritize blackness isn't necessarily the same way in which an immigrant would prioritize their blackness. Right. So you know how African Americans will say, oh, black writer, black creator, black artist, black lawyer, black doctor, black woman in STEM. No, when we come to this country, it's immigrant or nationality. Maybe our careers next, and then whatever else comes after that. So immigrant, Jamaican, marketer, whatever else comes after that. The issue that you're having is we don't see ourselves as one of you. Some of us that come to this country don't even have a legal right to be here. You get me? So while you are fighting your fight, which is that of blackness, we are fighting our fight as immigrants first.
Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, so family, that is the end of the video. Masquerading, we see you. So even Mr. Louis Farrakhan, who's not FBA, but he's definitely a writer for the lineage, he did a supporter. He said, "We see you, you masqueraders." Okay, so we say cosplaying. He says masqueraders is all the same message. You dig? We see you. That's the bottom line. We see you. We see you in the chat. We see your videos. Y'all want to tune in? I'm gonna speak to that Black conservative again Saturday, sometime Saturday. Make sure you subscribe, check in. Make sure you like the video, because I'm telling you right now, like, to make these videos I just did right here, this video took days to make, okay? And to produce it took 3 hours. So it took days to make and 3 hours to produce. If I feel like I'm not getting the love, because I put in love to make these videos. If I'm not getting the love to produce it, I'm definitely going to do, you know what I mean? I'm gonna focus my attention somewhere else, because you dig, I am a chess teacher. I do play chess, and I do go live on Twitch doing chess. You dig, and I get way more support playing a game. So if my own lineage can't support what I'm doing, then I'm just going to you dig, go where the support is at. So a lot of people are supporting the chess Twitch videos, but I'd rather do this, but I want to be respected for my time and energy. I got a 3-year-old. You dig? So if the love ain't reciprocal, I'm gonna go where the love is at. That's period, right? Because we talk about this lineage talk, but if our lineage ain't supporting us, you're forcing us to go other places for the support. That is a fact. I'm just being transparent with you guys. But yeah, man. It is what it is. You can easily just like the button. You just press like. That doesn't take much effort. Just press like. And if people can do more, there's a Cash App pin to the top. You can click the Cash App button, and that's $1, $2, $5, $10, whatever. It's all appreciative. It's gonna help out. Coffee, whatever I got going on. You dig? Okay, I'm just blocking the sun so I can see the screen. Yeah, so I appreciate my family. I love my lineage, but we got to show support, because a lot of our support is going to non-FBAs, is going towards Vlad, the Adam, these folks who are not FBA, clearly. Vlad, Godfrey, Lord Jamar, like DJ Academics, you dig? Our support is going everywhere but FBA. You dig? Like, we should be the most popping channels, especially talking about Black issues in America. I don't know why we still giving our time, energy, and money towards non-FBAs. That's still a puzzle for me. You dig? I can't figure that out. I'm back. All right. I'm back. All right, so let me cook on the two type of conservatives. You got the self-hating coons like Larry Elder and Thomas Sowell, and then you have your Afrocentrics like Elijah Muhammad and those folks. Okay, so they will agree with certain points from the conservative side, right? The Republicans, all right? But just because you agree with certain points doesn't mean that's where you need to stay and argue for. All right, so the liberal side, all right, so the liberal side is where the Civil Rights Act were passed, right? The Civil Rights Acts were passed from the liberal side, right? It's not going to be, that's something conservatives never passed. Okay, so reparations also, if that's going to be a thing to happen in America, unless it's a party switch, is going to happen from the liberal side, the Democrats. It will not be passed by the current Republicans. Okay, so that's a dream if you think otherwise. Okay, just a little history will let you know that. All right, so 1 second. 1 second. What? Where? Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm trying to. Where? I get him. Where you go? Yeah. All right, so the mosquito out here terrorizing my son. All right, but hold on. Hold on. Okay, so let me just tackle some of their major talking points. I'm just trying to reply to a couple comments on my videos first that I did about Lord Jamore and Vlad. Okay. All right, so I'm caught up. All right. So, okay. So a lot of Black conservatives, whether they're coons dealing with self-hatred or even Afrocentrics like Elijah Muhammad, or maybe, the Black Panther Party, and you will see some other folks, right? So what I'm good at, because I've researched so much, I'm good at pinpointing who is who. I can tell what you're about based on your talking points, all right? So when I hear an FBA, ADOS person who's like borrowing talking points from the conservative side, like for example, welfare, like how welfare, we should be off welfare, bootstrap, because that's what Elijah Muhammad was about. Elijah Muhammad was teaching the bootstrap ideology that comes from conservatives. That's conservatives. Conservatives got all the help in the world from America, but they would tell us bootstrap. So Elijah Muhammad came from that cloth. I don't believe he understood like what Dr. King knew. So Dr. King, brought it to our attention first about the land grants and all that type of shit that white folks were about. And then they're gonna turn around and tell us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. So Dr. King was like, nah, that ain't how this gonna go. So Elijah Muhammad was unaware of that. And also Malcolm X. They never spoke about that. It was Dr. King who brought that to our attention. So let's give guys flowers. Unfortunately, while he transitioned. Okay, so you'll hear a lot of Black conservatives, whether they're self-hatred coons or even Afrocentrics like Elijah Muhammad and the Black Panthers. They will tell you that we were doing better as a people under Jim Crow because we had two-parent homes, we had Black Wall Street and all this other shit. So what they don't know what they're doing, okay, what they don't know, what they're doing is they're really propagating the Confederate argument. It's like, no, you need to know more about FBA history. Just don't say that shit without context. If you're gonna say that, keep the story going. Okay. So let me explain real quick. Let me explain. Can I explain, please? 1 second, my folks. 1 second. 1 second. All right. So D for Vengeance. Yeah, her accent was horrible. Check out the White Sitar online chess. Hey yo, Dwayne, put the link in the chat. So y'all got wrenches. So if y'all want to promote or advise something, just put the chat where we can just click the link and we good. So Ricardo said the biggest problem others have with FBAs is we're defining ourselves, right? Something we historically never done, and they don't like it. Well, hubba bubba. I agree with that. All right. So let's go into this Black conservative talking point. Again, this is borrowed from the self-hatred coons like the guy debated, and he's coming back Saturday evening. Okay, and you got Afrocentric borrowers. So they would say we were doing better under Jim Crow. So when you make that argument, be careful because you're advocating for segregation and you're advocating for inequality and you're also advocating for a Jim Crow type of system. Because what you're saying is that we're only in check, we're only disciplined, we're only doing well under white systemic racism. Okay, so you're saying that we could only be in check under systemic racism, and you want to dig deeper, you're arguing that we could only be in check if we're enslaved, right? If we're left on our own to fend for ourselves, we're gonna do bullshit. So that's pretty much what you're saying when you say that we were doing better under Jim Crow because of two-parent home stats and wealth and Black Wall Street, things like that. 1 second. Okay, come over here. We're on side. Come sit down. Okay. So, but the real truth is that yes, we have Black progress under Jim Crow, but it wasn't because we were under Jim Crow. It's because we were being successful and progressive alongside of Jim Crow. So Jim Crow did not produce our success and progression. We were going to be progressive and successful regardless, because we were progressive and successful during the Black Reconstruction before Jim Crow. All right, before the Klan came and sabotaged us and undermined us. So we were great. So we were great in spite, despite. We were great despite of Jim Crow racial laws, right? We were just great people. So we were being great at the same time Jim Crow laws were instituted. All right? So keep that in mind. So integration, when that happened, post 1964, 68, it didn't reverse Black success. All right. No, that's not what happened. What happened was we came across new systemic tools, and they were economical. If you look at my video on Soul City, political and legal in the mass incarceration, where I being ignorantly mentioned but didn't know nothing about. That was an undermining attempt to derail our success under the post civil rights movement. All right. So the new systemic tools under systemic racism, they continue to oppress us just under a different guise. Don't forget, Jim Crow was illegal. So these clever white supremacists, these racists, they decided to institute racial policies in society, but they were not going to be as blatant as like Jim Crow. That's like clearly is what it is. You dig? Other nations were able to look at that and like condemn America and side with us. So racist America got smart enough to say, all right, you know what, we're going to disguise our systemic oppression. We're not going to be as bold and say, institute Jim Crow laws. We ain't going to do that. We're going to institute more systemic racism, but under a disguise. Okay. So now, again, so let's deal with the systemic. No, I'm sorry. So let's deal with oh boy. Okay. Let's microphone sick. Okay. So let's deal with the two-parent household claim, right? So that's very misleading. So they mix up, what they do is they mix truth with falsehoods. Even Black people like the Nation of Islam, like they have good intentions, but they're ignorant. They're ignorant to real thorough FBA history. They are. And the Hebrew Israelites and everybody, the Moors, like they're come on, man. Like they don't have the tools we have now. All right. So they were very ignorant to like real FBA history, real ADOS history. So, during the mid 20th century, yes, we had a high rate of marriages, 66% and even higher. But why did we have high marriage rates? Like, what was the root cause of that? It was because, for one, there was widespread poverty. We mostly remained in the South. So you'll be a fool to be independent, right? To live by yourself. So we knew to get that fly. So systemic racism pretty much made us like outright abundant, clear, plain sight systemic racism was it incentivized us to like, be a nuclear family. Okay, so at that time, our families during Jim Crow, we stuck together to survive, Jim Crow and the violence that came from Jim Crow. Shit. All right. And the exclusion of Jim Crow. We were excluded from so much shit. I talk about the HOLC, FHA, the New Deal, and all the things, all the tangibles that came from that, the GI Bill of 1944. You did, yeah. And even welfare, it was for white people, it's not for us. But you only get that here, that deep research. So marriage was not an indicator of prosperity, like what was that? Thomas Sowell should believe. So that's a Thomas Sowell talking point. But it was really more of a necessity for survival in a racist Jim Crow society. So listen, think about this. 2 FBAs in a shack. That's where we lived at. We didn't buy a home. We were excluded. Zoning laws of the early 1900s, and because the HOLC, FHA, and the New Deal were exclusive to us, we didn't own homes. We lived in shacks. Like we were doing bad. We were doing very, very bad. Okay, we were doing very bad. So you got a nuclear family in a shack with no health care because we didn't qualify, right? Or civil rights. That's not better than what we're doing now. Think about that. So a single parent household versus 2-family households pre-1960 that had no health care or civil rights. That's not better. And that's why I got the phone number and the link. Just call in. If you think we were doing better pre Civil Rights Act of 1964, 68, please let's have this conversation, because I know you don't know your history. That's why you would say that. Like, you have Black conservative talking points. You don't have real thorough FBA history. All right. So now let's deal with structural reasons, right? That was after 1960, right? After the Civil Rights March. Okay, so what happened? We had mass incarceration. So when IBM come over here and don't know about the case for mass incarceration by Michelle Alexander, she's the whistleblower. That's just a fool. Okay, so but mass incarceration really exploded in the 70s, 80s, as he mentioned. It started with Nixon. But this happened, check this out, family. After the Civil Rights March, these white supremacists, they waged war on us. They couldn't stand the fact that we had civil rights and we're going to elevate. We're going to be great and practice Black excellence. So what they did, family. So I'm hopscotching. I'm hopscotching. So let me say this. All of our existence in America, one thing remained the same, no matter if it's Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative. One thing remained the same. We were enslaved early, right? And then when that ended, 1865, we became imprisoned through, the Jim Crow laws, vagrancies, truancy, shit like that. Okay, when that ended in 1968, mass incarceration. So one thing is constant through our experience in America. The one thing that's constant in America is that America kept us subjected and confined without rights. So you could look at enslavement, you could look at the peonage system, sharecropping, convict leasing, and you could look at mass incarceration on the war on drugs. One thing is constant. This country has always had us confined and subjected to some type of confinement. You dig? That's been constant. Okay, we've always been, you could say, locked up. So let's look at slavery as locked up. The peonage system is locked up. and mass incarceration were locked up. That's one thing constant with this country. They kept us locked up in huge numbers. Slavery is a lockup type of thing. Okay. So the war on drugs and policies like that I talked about, mandatory minimums. Okay, that is what fractured families. So as long as they kept locking us up, how can a man be home? I just said they had us locked up. Enslavement is a lockup. Okay, the peonage system is a lockup. And then once that ended, so once slavery ended, they had the peonage system. And once that ended, they had mass incarceration. So one thing is constant. They always locked us up in ridiculous large numbers, exponential numbers. So massive Black men were separate from their families from enslavement all the way to mass incarceration of the 1970s and 80s. So they made sure to keep men, fathers, from the household. So why would we continue that practice voluntarily? Different story. Okay. But also, guess what? You gotta do more than that. You gotta make us poor as far as resources and work. So the deindustrialization, Michigan, all type of shit, that removes stable jobs from the inner city. So now we're poor. So what woman wants to marry a poor dude that can't bring no income? So you know what I mean? So it incentivized for women to wait for the right guy. You dig? So this all contribute to single parent homes. How about housing segregation? Redlining. These are things that these Black conservatives don't want to talk about, or they deny the reality of. So housing segregation, redlining, and most importantly, underfunded schools. These all kept Black families in a disadvantaged position. Okay? So the rise of single parent homes wasn't caused by integration, as some of y'all might have been bamboozled to believe. That listened to conservatives and became Black conservatives, whether Afrocentric, joining so if you're a Black nationalist, you're in my opinion, because I know the talking points, if you're a Black nationalist, you are a Black conservative. You're no different than a coon, a self-hating coon like Thomas Sowell. Yeah, I believe the same shit. All right. So the cause for our downfall was caused by systemic, economic, and legal traps that undermined Black stability after segregation ended, quote unquote. Okay, so because it did not really end. So you see, these things undermined us. So that's why if anybody take part in the attempt to undermine us, we don't look at you as no different, no separate from white supremacists, white racists. Don't matter how Black you are. If you're undermining us, we categorize you with white supremacists. But you're not white, so we can't call you white supremacists. We just call you tethers. If you're foreign, Black, and if you're actually FBA ADOS, we just call you coons, Sambos, whatever, Uncle Tom. Yeah, I get it. This ain't hard to understand. So yeah, thank you for liking the video. So this type of real talk right here, I already know. Because it's not, I don't have Tariq name in the thing. I don't have Thomas Sowell or Professor Small. I already know a live like this ain't going to warrant a lot of views. I got it. I get it. I'm not done. Marriage was for survival. Exactly, Pinky. So she gets it. American families are at a disadvantage now. So why so many single mom homes? Right. And that's what I'm getting to. So this ain't a decision by us. We might do it in 2025, but we don't know the root cause of this shit. So also these Black conservatives, you will hear the self-hatred coons, and you'll hear the Black Afrocentrics like the Nation of Islam and the Black Panthers, and folks that still with Pan-Africanism. You'll hear them say, "Hey, man, Blacks accumulated more wealth under Jim Crow. Black Wall Street was under Jim Crow. We had businesses, Black buses." You'll hear this shit from these stupid niggas. Okay, that's a false argument. So wealth under Jim Crow was minimal, right? We didn't make a lot of money. So you can name a Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can name some shit in North Carolina or Florida. But yo, there's like 1,000 more cities where black people live that else ridiculous poor. Okay. So our real economic neighborhoods were fragile and easily destroyed, as we know, hindsight. So black wealth building efforts like Tulsa, Rosewood, Wilmington, they were oftenly violently wiped out by white mobs with no restitution. So that's not nothing to brag about. Hey, Black Wall Street millionaires, yeah, but they had no rights that a white man can respect, so they just burnt the shit down. Like, that's not nothing to pump your chest on about. Also, black access to capital, home ownership, and fair agents were tightly restricted. That was like non-existent. So most of us in 1940 were still, listen, family, listen to me clear. Most of us had jobs like sharecropping or domestic laboring. Okay, and there was no real wealth in sharecropping and domestic laboring. That's like near slavery, you dig? So just substance level existence. All right. Let's go back to 1940. 1940, the median black income, family income, was less than 25% of the white family income. 1940. Okay, so by 1970, it rose to 60%. And you'll see a lot of black coons regurgitate that. You'll see a lot of Afrocentric coons regurgitate that. You see tethers regurgitate that. You hear white supremacists regurgitate that as that's like some shit to be proud of. But that was due to civil rights and labor shifts. Big up to A. Philip Randolph. They put in that work. Okay. Thank you. But if you look at today, the black median wealth is about 1/10 of white wealth, 1/10. And it's not because of civil rights progress or lack thereof, but because of new wealth extraction mechanisms like predatory lending, discriminatory housing policies, and the lack of generational transfers because we were locked out of wealth and home ownership and land ownership for 100 years. All right. So black economic progress during Jim Crow was severely limited and violently repressed. They took it back with the damn sword. So integration wasn't the problem, my boy, my girl. Racism, okay? Racism adapted to new tools. And those new tools were redlining, credit discrimination, mass incarceration. Man, flies, man. I killed so many. This fly won't go. My fault. I'm trying to kill this fly, it's on my keyboard. Yeah, I smacked him, but he actually lived. That's weird. Hold on one second. Okay, so credit discrimination and mass incarceration. So again, redlining, credit discrimination, and mass incarceration. So when Obama was in office, Obama put an end to obvious credit discrimination. So he did do some things that we benefited from, but no president can make it a racial thing. They gotta say something that's beneficial for all Americans. So there's some slick shit behind that. That's for another time. So the education and achievement gap, watch this. The narrowing is real, but not evidence that Jim Crow was better. Watch this. So black students, they did close educational gaps dramatically between 1940 and 1970 in 30 years. So despite unequal schools, hand-me-down books, and systemic underfunding, we was closing the gap. But this progress exploded after the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 and affirmative action programs would cause that. So if progress was being made, why did it slow? So that's the main question that people ask, especially those who are opposite of us. Okay, so if progress being made, why did it slow down? And they blame interrogation. No, not interrogation. Integration. My fault. I'm a little tired. I've been out all day. And it's been hot. So anyway, they blame integration. Let's look at it. Let's look at white backlash to integration and what it led to. So we forgot about white flight. So you forgot about white flight when white folks left cities because we began to populate it. What did it do? It drained public school funding. So now you have an underfunded school. Don't forget, money go to schools because of property taxes. We were denied of home ownership. So we were renters. So none of that shit went to no taxes really went to the school budget, right? So resegregation by zip code and districting, you know how they do. You see all these Indians in one location. You got Chinatown, all these Italian towns. That's called districting. Okay, so school funding tied to property taxes. Like I said, property taxes, school funding. Okay. That led to underfunded Black majority schools because we were renters because we were discriminated from home ownership. So these white supremacists, they block us from real wealth, real generational wealth, which starts with home ownership and land ownership. They block us and discriminate against us there and then talk shit when our societies fail because we're not homeowners. We're not landowners. It's like, which Malcolm X said. Malcolm X said that white people will cause the problem and then produce a solution. Okay, but what about the racist policies, right, that we adapted to? Okay, so oppression, and this is what Black conservatives don't want to deal with. So oppression didn't just disappear, poof, because 1968 passed the last, law against Jim Crow. Okay, so because after Jim Crow ended, new systems were developed. That's all. They just re-strategized. They're chess players, man. So don't forget, I talk about the war on drugs. This disproportionately targeted Black communities when white folks took the same drug, and there are more numbers, so more of them should have been in prison. So the war on drugs led to mass incarceration. So mass incarceration, what did that do? What did mass incarceration do? Mass incarceration removed FBA fathers from homes. So when Larry Elder and Thomas Sowell talk about, hey man, the Black father wasn't home, that's why families fold apart and blah, 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 no discipline. It's like, yeah, but dude, your buddies caused that to happen with mass incarceration. Like you discriminately targeted FBAs and Black people in general as for your war on drugs. So, well, what about suppressed wages, right? Paying us less than white folks and denied job opportunities, job discrimination. These are real shit. What about house discrimination? Okay, redlining and disinvestment. Those shits kept us from owning homes and wealth building neighborhoods. You can't handicap us and talk shit. And obviously underfunded public education. So despite desegregation, schools were resegregated by geography and funding formulas, right? So the system didn't stop. Racist system didn't stop. They just evolved. They adjusted to this new way of life under integration. So the absence of de jure segregation does not mean there's no systemic racism, as these folks would like to argue. Okay, so before I get off, so they say Black families were stronger during Jim Crow, but really we just endured racism together out of necessity, not prosperity. They would say Black people had more wealth under segregation. We were just systematically poor. We were kept poor, and our wealth was often destroyed. E.g., Black Wall Street. Okay, they'll say Black achievement slow after integration. So they blame integration. So they're saying segregation, Jim Crow is where we thrive the best at. The lack of Jim Crow we fucked up at is what they're getting to. But integration, it was actually incomplete. They never finished integrating us. They started it and they abandoned it. Okay. So systemic racism changed from form. It went to mass incarceration and housing policy. So now you'll see Thomas Sowell and Larry Elder say, hey man, today's problems, and even a Black coon conservative I debated that's coming back on Saturday will say, hey man, a lot of Black problems are just cultural. You guys are just doing effed up stuff and it comes from your household. But today's problems are actually structural. And even Myron Gaines will argue that. Our problems are outcomes of policy and systemic exclusion. Systemic exclusion. Okay. So don't let that pass you. Don't let that pass you. So these are some arguments that they will present to you. I'm gonna do a part 2. I'm really hungry. I gotta eat. 8:36. I'm not coming back on live because by the time I get done eating, it'll be like 11 o'clock, and that's when I go to bed. So I'll try to wake up early and go live. Right. But I hope you appreciate, some information I brought out today. At the very least, just like the video. And let me get busy tomorrow. Because by the time I get done eating, it'll be like 11 o'clock. And let me get busy tomorrow. Peace, Pinky. Peace to the chat. Those who showed up is well appreciated.